All right, what's going on? We're technically into Thanksgiving, if you can bloody believe it. Absolutely nuts. I have some coffee heating up. I gotta get some washing on for tomorrow. God, it's been a wee bit of a whirlwind actually. Some good news from the job front. We might have something coming through. I don't think we'll be doing it tonight, but we're going to go through some interview prep, and of course, you know, what sort of job would a developer like me be doing at this time? You know, the end of 2025. It's going to be AI, isn't it? So, you know, good thing we've been experimenting a lot over here, and even in my previous employment, I was one of the main pushers of AI tooling and try to get people to see the benefits of it, which towards the ends of my term there at that company, they started pushing it, but they did it in like the dirtiest way. It's like, oh yeah, just now use Copilot, like use it as much as you can to write as much code as you can. And I remember the pull requests, the quality of them near the end were just atrocious, especially from the offshore teams, because they weren't even trying to make it look good. Like, yeah, got mixed feelings on that. In other news, I got defrauded by an ex for over 19 charges on a credit card that I actually changed the number of. And what's even funnier is she had me saved in her phone as Damien. And this is the woman that told me she feels no anger or hatred. And all right then. That's all I have to say about that. You know, what goes around comes around. That's for damn sure. But yeah, so we're going to be taking a dive back into our little coding incursions over here. And yeah, just slowly build up what we've been working on already. And yeah. I did rearrange the screen a little bit. Let's see what happens. Maybe it'll stick out more, who knows. Let's start booting up our tools though. So I have to restart my dev environment. I did a update, which I hate doing, but we did. Right, let's fire this up. Yeah, there she goes. The only lady I trust is the one I programmed, and my mother. In short of that. Okay. I'm not bitter at all. It's just fraud, man. Can't have it. What's going on, YouTube? Happy Thanksgiving from a Scot to you. It's like PH has got some updates in his home lab, so can't wait till he's able to show us that physically, like pull out the camera, come in, use Kynto to show off and that. In other news, I set up a whole other room, way bigger than this, because I've got like tons of vintage equipment and computers and that, right? And we're going to break them out, especially as I'm not able to swim as much. So yeah, just more time indoors, I suppose. But I did order a swimsuit, 3mm swimsuit. I could never imagine wearing such a thing, but it'll be good. And yeah, as I said, we're going to cover some interview prep, kind of the new things that companies are looking out for. And yeah, you get to see that whole journey through my eyes. If all goes well, I'm actually going to be working in the city, which is going to be strange. I've always kind of preferred remote work. Like, you know, I was ran over when I was 18, my hips were smashed. And I started coding before I was 18, so yeah, not hard to see why I've been a remote programmer most of my life, but I've worked in this city before. Man, I'm nervous about the traffic. I'm glad that I have the other spot closer to town. I'm gonna have to use that during the week. But more opportunities to test the stuff we're building here, you know, because we're building streaming tools, right? And yeah, the main reason I've not done more demos with it is in South Florida, cell phone service is crap, especially as I've moved more to the 5G and even the 4G. Every increment that you get this increased bandwidth, you lose distance coverage, right? Like 3G, well, yeah, you can get maximum like 8 megabits a second or whatever. You can transmit that like up to 60, 70 miles, maybe even higher if it's, you know, on high ground. When you're talking 5G, you're talking like you transmit it to maybe a mile, a couple of miles. Florida's not set up for that. We don't have any mountains, we don't have any hills. The tallest mountain I have near me is the dump. Yeah, so I'll try and make the best of it. I'm going to be exhausted. But gotta do what we gotta do. We gotta get this house paid off. It's pretty hilarious though, just continually having to code other people's dreams, but such is life. That's how it works. Until we figure out something over here with everything I've been building. Appreciate that like, thank you. Does not look like our chat system is live, does it? No. All right, there we go. Fully up now. Yeah, so damn, I need to release the update for that so it shows more than 10 seconds. But if you type help into the chat, yeah, list of commands for your avatar, how you can control your little buddy. Yeah, we're gonna have to do some mini games, something, make that more of a draw. But most people just kind of use it to chat to myself and others on the stream. That's what we've got. Bloody hell, just started on Twitch already with a bloody crap bots. Cheap viewers. Thank you, I don't need you. I'd rather just have nobody watching than pay to have someone watch me. That's like the saddest thing you could do. Folks, do it. Some of those massive streamers that you all watch, that's what they do. Like Neon, it's all botted. What fascinates me with this whole streaming thing though is the people that get the attention are not the most creative folks. It's not the ones building the tools. It's just the guys that keep you entertained. But that's how it works. All right, let's start booting up our development environment over here. Oh, did we just lose a stream? Obviously got to boot up our containers, get our MongoDB up, get our reverse proxy up, and then we'll go from there. Hopefully you can't hear the tunes coming out of my headphones because I'm banging them, man. Alrighty. What do we need to do now? We need to bring up our Mongo. Once again, Mongo is an insult if you're in Scotland, but not on internet. I'm almost tempted to finish up the Square integration. It would get me in a good path. Oh, we need to build React as well. Right, so that opens the chat every time you join a room. I don't know if that's how I want it to work. We might start off small. I'm gonna have to do like a dark theme for this though, because most of the time I'm on at night, and I know this blows out people's eyes. I posted a video that we actually recorded on stream here to LinkedIn, and I think it got me actually an interview, but It's funny seeing old co-workers I worked with in the past. Let's see what I'm working on now.
At Uniquer says the water animation is awesome.
Oh, you're awesome. Thank you for that, buddy. Yeah, that's just a slight z-index tween on each tile, using a sine wave. It's pronounced sine wave. Very, very fun. You got any other ideas for things to code?
Unity?
No, this is React and Canvas and WebGL. I didn't go with Unity on this. I just wanted to build everything right in a browser, leveraging essentially just open source tools. I'm not opposed to Unity, but yeah, JavaScript is my language of choice.
Oh wow. TypeScript or JS?
Good question. So the majority of the project is JavaScript, but I'm slowly porting over parts of it to TypeScript. And it's got a whole WebRTC system, so this is how I actually assemble my streams. I share my cameras, my desktop, everything, and it's, yeah, it puts out our TMP stream, which goes up to YouTube, Kick, Twitch, and then you can chat to me through it. It's a whole system. Like, check this out. Look at that nice little JavaScript.
Very cool. I've been prototyping in Python and moving to Godot.
Oh, we just had someone on the last stream I did that was showing me some custom stuff he was doing in Godot, like a custom lighting system. It's pretty cool. He was actually from Syria, and you know they don't have the best internet or computers over there, but he was doing some cool stuff. But what you looking to do in Python and Godot? You looking to build a game, like online stuff, or what are you doing? Godot is a really powerful tool, you know, especially for 3D and VR. I'm thinking of exploring doing another custom renderer instead of just having the isometric perspective. We're gonna have a full 3D one that can just tie into my system I've already built, because it's kind of like an event bus, so I can write additional renderers for it without throwing out everything I've already done. It's going to take me a wee minute to warm up here. I've been taking a break from streaming. Alright, so YouTube didn't pass that comment to us, but you said, yeah, I'm working on a 2D game where you have to keep the fire lit right now. It's all in Python, but still I came here from web development. That's awesome. I will tell you right now, and you tell me if you find this to be true, but working on game development in general is going to make you a better web developer. You're going to use way more of the tools that are available on web that most people would never even consider. Like just talking WebSockets, never mind animations and all that stuff. But I think you're going to benefit a lot from it. But that sounds like a cool little game concept. Let's see if PH is hopping on tonight.
Yeah, your animations and sprite work is really nice.
Yeah, you know what's ironic? So I started coding really young, right? Like 12, 13 years old. I've been using a lot of the same artwork from that original game even to this day. I've just like rebuilt it like 30 different times, and this is the current version we're in. You know, because I was hoping that people would like play this, but no, they're not. But making it controlled by chat on stream, a little bit different concepts, and it does add something to the streams. Like, we can have straight up conversations.
Isometric is difficult from what I've tried.
Yeah, no. Here's the funny thing about it is, so isometric. The most painful part about it is the depth sorting, especially if you're implementing it on like a 2D renderer. If you're doing it just 3D, that's all done for you essentially. But that's the main struggle.
Says been a while. How are you, bro?
A noob, hello. Yeah, about to celebrate Thanksgiving here in America, but we're on for a late night stream tonight. But Unique X, I recommend you take another look at isometric. There's actually a book I recommend. It was for Flash development, but ActionScript 3 is very similar to TypeScript, and the concepts that you learn, they carry over really well. Let me see if I can find it. You can just grab like the PDF for it. I don't have it lying around, so I'm not gonna remember.
Day 2 of asking to enable captions smiley face.
Well, no captions tonight, Anub. The main reason is that would add latency to the streams, and that would make it very difficult, or that would make it very annoying for the people chatting to me, because there's already enough of a delay. So that's the main reason. If other people mention it, I'll switch it back, but that's why we're not doing that.
Oh, okay, got it.
Yeah, that's literally it. Where is your avatar? Okay, you're up there.
What's it called that's like TS?
Oh, so ActionScript 3. So I was always anti-Flash when I started coding. I hated the idea of you having to install plugins to play web games. But back then, HTML and JavaScript was very, very limited. There was no WebSockets. There was no such thing as the canvas tag. So eventually, I was talked out of building web games, which is what I started building web games for this, the PSP. And we actually made a version of Kynto and YouTube chat that works on this. I still have to release the video, but we've used it in live streams. And Noob might remember it. But yeah, so ActionScript 3 was like the final form of the scripting language for Flash. All right, cool. PH should be hopping on. Folks, listen, make sure you drop a like if you want to see this get broken. We need to tell YouTube to send more people in. Everyone that chats gets an avatar. So you can literally strain the system by like helping me get this out there. Nuke X says ActionScript 3 got PSP was good. I owned one when it first came out. Yeah. I pulled down the camera view I had for this. I had a dedicated camera view, like up to the keyboard. So you could see your chat messages and your avatar on this, and you could control it from the chat, which is nuts because this only has 2 megabytes of RAM for the web browser. 32 total, but 2 megabytes allocated for the web browser. So this was a very difficult thing to code for. But back then, I didn't have much of a choice. It was way harder doing it this time around because I've been polluted by modern development for a long time. And the PSP, can't even make an AJAX request on it. All right, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to close everything up here that I can. And we'll just start working through it. We're in the middle of a refactor here. We could continue with that. Let's say I was refactoring a TTS system. Yeah, I was just breaking up the last of the React classes. There's hundreds of React components that I've built for this project, and majority of them are, functional components. They work great. All time event bus, but we had this large app.js, which was kind of like the bootstrap of the entire web app. And most of the code that's left in there now is just crud, but it's still required. Everything else has been moved into populators and reducers and all your modern day React stuff. And as usual, I've got a wee bit of ADHD because I'm always experimenting and testing different things as well. But we do need to complete the TTS update. Let's see.
Or just look when you're done streaming.
Unique X, what do you mean? Maybe I missed your
It's really
message
bad.
before. What's really bad?
It's a Frankenstein PC.
I think that your message that you're referencing like never came through the chat 'cause I don't see it, but I got you. It's a Frankenstein PC. What? You might have to say it again. Here, let's put the TTS in here. And for some reason, when I was pulling the TTS system out of that gross React class, popping it in this populator, it's not the best description for this, but it doesn't work right. I'm not sure why. The speech synthesis API in the browser is a wee bit touchy, and it does behave differently on each browser. Where's my notepad? I might have to have a look at the notepad. Alright, well, it looks like we got a couple of these tasks done. Oh, saved selected microphone, that's easy. Sure, this is one of the most difficult things to debug with WebRTC. So if you guys know about WebRTC, it allows you to do peer-to-peer streaming, which means you can share video or text data or voice data, audio data, without going to a server first, which is great for something like this where, you know, we have guests and multiple different camera angles. I wanted like a wireless solution. The problem is once you get above like 3 or 4 connections, it's just really difficult to debug. You're essentially forming a mesh network in the browser tab, and everyone has to connect to everyone else. And if they don't, it's really difficult to figure out why. So that's one of the things we have to look at. Appreciate that additional like. That will remind YouTube that we're still here.
Have you tried the Web Speech API?
Yeah, so Unique Access, what this TTS system that we have here is a custom system that I built right on top of the speech synthesis API, if that's what you're talking about. But that's what I'm using here. And we're in the middle of refactoring it and improving it, but I've not released those changes yet because for whatever reason that refactor's not going well. Just a note, the speech synthesis API, you actually have to have the user interact with the web page first before you can even initiate it, because technically it's an accessibility API, which makes no sense. Like, if the person's blind, why do you need them to like click a button on the page first before it works? Make it make sense. And folks, just so you know, there is a Discord, because you know YouTube's not very good at sending out notifications when I do go live, and that reminds me I should update the Discord. But if you click on my profile, you'll see a bunch of links. One of them is the Discord server.
I always enjoy finding developers who stream. I'm subbed and look forward to see your work.
Appreciate Unique X, it's very cool. Yeah, I like seeing it too. Yeah, just the fact I even popped up on your feed tells me that you seek that stuff out. Because we're streaming specifically to the science and technology category, not the biggest niche on YouTube, but quality over quantity, right?
It's rare to find new devs, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, it does feel like things are quite locked in. That's for sure. If you got any ideas for things you want me to code or explain how I built a specific thing, feel free to ask as well. That's perfectly cool. All right, we're gonna fix this.
Have you ever used Rust?
No, I've been kind of looking for a reason to, actually. The same with Go. Yeah, it's been a wee while since I picked up a new language. What about yourself? Oh, that's a good song.
Yeah, me either.
Yeah, you already mentioned Python, you already, and web development. It does cover a lot of ground.
I'm scared of C++.
Yeah. Yeah, most of the times when I've messed with C++ or C, it's been specifically for Arduinos, you know, the microprocessors.
I'd rather learn assembly.
You know, it's probably quite dark in here, but there's a Commodore 64 sitting on top of that TV, and you know, there's not a chance in hell that I'm going to be able to learn the modern day assembly, but having that thing over there let me play with 6502 assembly. That's a lot of fun because, you know, there's only a handful of instructions. But one of the Christmas goals will be hooking the Commodore 64 up to the YouTube chat and having avatars on it and stuff as well. A lot of the stuff I code, especially for myself, is literally just for the fun of it. Some people come on streams and they're like, why would you code this?
Nice.
It's like, because I want to.
I have a Sega Genesis, original Nintendo, and PS1, and PS2.
Right on. Yeah, no, that's what's up. You know, the Sega Genesis is called the Master
awesome.
System in the UK. Yeah, exactly. I think the last thing I need to pick up for it, there's actually, I've got 2 Commodore 64s, and a VIC-20. We've got the Mac SE Ferry over here, and then more CRTs, and you could shake a stick at. But yeah, I need to pick up a network card. Well, looks like I was implementing YouTube's whole system here,
UK
but then we
devs are
needed to
always like
dive.
really good from my experience.
Yeah, so what's funny is I only started like I was always interested in computers, but I never really had access to code on one until I moved to America, and it was like on half a laptop hooked up to an old CRT. And I went back home for a while, and I was still coding, but I had no internet back in Scotland. Then I came back and just never stopped. I think part of it is like it's typical, at least in the UK. Like you do have like a lot less money. You know, I know there's people who are very well off in that, but I'd say like most British people are not well off. And like by well off, I mean like being able to.
I used to have a buddy
Yeah.
from UK who coded Lua and he was insanely fast.
I believe it. What was he doing with Lua? The only Lua I've ever done was San Andreas multiplayer mod. That got me into Lua. But I know it's used heavily in like scripting plugins for games.
He was doing stuff in a board game simulator in Steam. I forgot the name.
Oh, interesting. I think I know what you're talking about, but I don't know the name of it. That's another part of the project here. I coded an Electron app that lets you have like remote desktop capabilities right on top of this WebRTC system I coded. But the whole idea of that is we're going to release a Steam app. I have it already, just haven't sat there and released it. It's taking a wee while for me to warm up tonight, but it's what it takes.
Have you completed any games from beginning to end?
Have I completed any games from beginning to end? I mean, I've always treated like game development as more of a sandbox. I've never commercialized anything, if that makes sense. You know, my day jobs, I'm an iPhone developer and I'm a web developer, so it's typically the projects I complete. This stuff I just do for the fun of it. This one's pretty far along. I've had some requests to add the ability for people to support the project, so I've got to finish that. And I built an iPhone app for this as well, so people could host YouTube streams with
I really want to
avatars in
just
the
get
chat
something
system
done.
right there.
I've had like 5 attempts so far.
No, I understand. I think it's good to have a small and very defined use case of what your game is. My problem is I treat this as a sandbox, like literally explore new tools, I just don't stop. But yeah, having a specific thing that you could draw a box around, I think that makes it way easier. Like this whole room right here, this is all
I
user
totally get it.
generated.
Oh wow.
Yeah. I know I'm not very good like developer or whatever, so I just build tools for people to build games. That was the idea. Oh, I think I just crashed it. There's a bad item. I have a whole plugin system. Let me pull up Mongo. I don't know what item's causing that crash. It lags out the browsers to the point that WebTools won't even give me anything. Alright, let's connect and figure out what's going on. Clearing out the room. We'll be able to refresh this. Oh, so I connected to the wrong instance here. What is this?
That's what I've been thinking anyway.
Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah, that's actually a good idea. I felt like it was easier back in the day for me to find side gigs. Like sites like Upwork today require you to pay money to bid on projects, which I just find so alien. I come from a time where you could literally find stuff on Craigslist. And that's how I started my career, was just random stuff on Craigslist.
I know I used to make bank writing in Upwork.
What? Did you always have to pay bid on projects, or is that a new thing? I won't even let me put a breakpoint on it.
No, this was before.
Ah, yeah, that makes sense.
I'm 34.
Oh yeah, we're about the same age. I'll figure out what the heck I'm SH into here. Uh, lying, we do have stuff in local storage, it's just not showing it to me.
Now everyone just uses AI and their writing still is lacking.
Yeah. How do you feel about AI? I do think it's led to a lot of crud. It could be immensely powerful in the right hands, but I've seen like a lot of offshore developers use it and produce pull requests in like my professional capacity, and they'll generate the most unreadable code. It's like you could just specify in your prompts, you know, don't make my code nest, don't do this, don't do that, and they refuse to listen. I'm gonna go grab a couple of Kit Kats before I dive further into this.
There's no novel ideas.
There's no novel ideas. Yeah. Yeah. I feel it's almost like an options paralysis. You get so many possibilities that you end up with nothing, if that makes sense. I mean, I struggled with that before AI, never mind, I can't imagine what it's done to people now.
It's just a program.
A program that's only as good as the person using it as well.
I like it for prototyping.
Yeah, for prototyping, immensely powerful. And writing unit tests, there's tons of things that do make it useful.
It's good for repetitive tasks, but I would choose a human 90% of the time.
Yeah, one of the major positives with AI is it could make a senior developer essentially into an architect. Because, being able to treat it as a junior developer that you can command. All right, let's see how disgusting this drink is. Oh yeah, it's pretty bad.
What's funny is it's getting worse. I used to like exchanging poetry with chat.
When you say it's getting worse, do you mean it's like getting less creative? Like, and yeah, I've actually done that as well.
Yes.
Interesting. I wonder if that has to do with him trying to tone down, its desire to hallucinate. I actually liked its desire to hallucinate when it came to coding. Like, yeah, it wasn't, you'd ask it like, do X, Y, and Z. This is the library I want to use. And it would just come up with methods that didn't exist, but I'd be like, oh, that's actually pretty creative. I'll go do that. Where now, it won't do that.
Yes, Gemini is good for code, but for creativity or novelty it's unusable.
Interesting. Oh, I just got a notification from OpenAI that they had a security incident. All right, let's take a look at the security incident OpenAI just had. Looks like this came out literally 2 hours ago, so this is breaking news. What to know about the recent Mixpanel security incident? November 9th, Mixpanel became aware of an attacker that gained unauthorized access. Oh, that's great. Oh, it is specifically for folks that use the OpenAI API. So I was hit with that. I'm sure you were as well. Wow.
Probably Mossad LOL.
I wouldn't be surprised. There's also a situation, I don't know if it's the state or the feds in America, but they're trying to get ChatGPT to basically, I think it's the New York Times actually. They're trying to get millions or hundreds of thousands of chat sessions exported from OpenAI. And you know, court can force that to happen, but that's what happens when you log and you don't encrypt. You have to be able to fulfill those requests, and by law you have to. If you have that data and it's not encrypted, then you're asked to turn it over, you have no choice. Wow, they even created an email address just for the Mixpanel hack. Mixpanel incident at openai.com if you guys have any questions. Incredible. Wow.
Wouldn't asterisk.
Wow, if you use a VPN, well, that makes no sense. Because if you're using the OpenAI's API, the server makes the request, not the individual in the VPN. Alright, enough of that.
Chat used to be so much better. I was in the beta.
Yeah, how long ago was that beta? It must have been well over maybe 3 years ago now. And was it the ChatGPT 3.0 beta? Is that what they started with?
Like 2021, I think.
Wow. How did you become aware of it in the first place?
Yeah. Google collabs.
Interesting. Yeah, I've never used it before.
You had to like install packages.
That's right, there was a couple of tools we were supposed to look at. Yeah, I don't think I want to break into that tonight. Interesting. Ooh, even with the two ACs running, it's getting hot in here, man. Alright, let's keep an eye on time because it is Thanksgiving Day and my family will kill me.
Remember NFTs, lol.
Oh god, NFTs. Didn't last too long, did they? Who was it? Was it Logan Paul or the other one that had the Pokemon like NFTs with the eggs? Allegedly. To be careful.
I feel like they just did that because they knew AI art was coming.
Oh wow. Yeah, AI arts. I feel bad for the artists on that one because it's good. And you can literally just take an artist's art, post it in there, and be like, you know, change it, and it will. Never mind the fact it's been trained on their stuff, you know,
Squeeze as much money
DeviantArt
from
and
the
all
art
that.
before they cut out the artists.
Yeah. Yep. Away the world, isn't it? I don't know, man. I feel like we're in a very bad version of the 80s, if that makes sense. Like, so the area I live is like pretty rural, but they've been building cities all over it. And cutting down every tree. One of these, this wasn't even the city part, this was in, like, by me. They cut down all the trees in this 2 acres and they put up a house and they have all these LED lights and poles around it like it's a prison. And they're all facing in. And that wasn't even the craziest part. They just had like the street numbers above their door, but it was with little LEDs and they were flickering. And I'm like, man, this is like just like a bad 80s movie. I don't know when I was teleported here, but very, very strange. I'll have to actually get some pictures or video of that property. It's one of the most saddest things I've seen. Like, technology's been turned inward or against the very people that use it. It's very strange. I mean, if you take a look at how quickly, so the UK was ahead of this, and I've always told Americans, you know, you guys had it really good. You have your constitution, you have Bill of Rights and stuff. In the UK, they were using speed cameras even like 30 years ago. Like, if you were going too fast down the road, you'd automatically get your bloody license suspended if you had too many points. But in America, they've just hooked everything up into the central. What was the name of it? Essentially, they're doing the same thing here now.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I think the UK is one of the most surveilled states in the world. It even extends up into Scotland. What's funny is last year when I flew in to go visit my family at home, I mean, it was kind of nice. When I got off the plane, there wasn't even a single border agent. It's just a camera, and you scan your passport, and it has like a green light or a red light. And then the green light flash, and the little gate opens, and you walk through. And yeah, if you wanted to even declare stuff, like, you know, like I'm bringing stuff from my brother that he's not had from America in a long time, you have to pick up a red telephone to even get a human to talk to you. Yeah, yep, yep. And I'll tell you this much: all the people I know over there are not for it, and I don't. They're kind of horrified by it. Kind of horrified is like an understatement. I feel like I have to self-censor continuously being on here. It's bad. Don't let America become that way, or Australia, wherever you're from. I actually got in an argument with a guy over here in America because he was trying to tell me that that whole free speech thing was not an issue in the UK. I'm like, brother, you've never left your country. How would you know it? I'm telling you, with someone, family over there, being from there, it's an issue. And he's like, no, you're just like spouting far right talkie points. I'm like, dude, I'm not political. I'm just telling you how it is. Yeah, I don't get involved in voting or any of that stuff, man. It's not my jam. But yeah, try telling to this guy. Yeah, yeah. You guys did less for being taxed too much on the tea. I believe it. So there was actually an interesting story. So where I'm at is like I said, fairly rural, but I'm in a very populated part of the state of Florida, one of the highest populated parts. I'm just on like the last outcrop of it, and right on the edge of like a wildlife management area, big hunting preserve, damn near 100,000 acres. It's right in my front garden, and we have a dirt road that runs down the street, and they were trying to get us to pave it, the district, and we all got together and were like, hell no. And you had these New Yorkers sitting on the board saying like, no, we need to pave it. And you got these people that are like literally living here being like, no, you do not need to pave it. We like it like this. This is why we moved here. Anyway, they had no choice but back down. I even spoke. Like I gave public comment. And, it's like freedom. Anyway, it worked, but it only bought us 2 years, and then it's going to come back up, and then they get to push it again. But it was at least a little example of showing, like I like the American system where like you should have input on what happens in your locality, and it shouldn't be like central government that rules it, which is, the rest of the world's kind of set up more centrally than America. I think that's when the system works best, is when you have people making the rules, the ones that are actually living in that community.
Yeah, I'm definitely on the right LOL.
And many of the opinions that you would hear me say would probably align with what you believe, man. That's all I can say. But I'm not political. I'm just on the side of, you know, property owners and freedom. That's all.
I basically started the whole Baldwin 4 trend, lol.
I missed that one. I have to look it up. Oh, wow.
He was a crusader.
Interesting. Oh, okay. I've seen that.
King.
Interesting. And he had leprosy. Interesting. I'll be digging into that tonight. PH, what is up, buddy? How are you doing? What you got going on?
Good, how are you holding up?
I'm holding. Try to get back into the zone over here, man, but just been hanging out a wee bit. Could be worse.
I just set up stable diffusion.
Are you running it locally? I'm gonna have to add that to the list then, if you are.
Yes.
Alright. You know I like running stuff locally. When you've got that beastie bloody GPU
Check
with
out
like
easy
24
diffusion.
gigs of RAM. VRAM, sorry.
One-click install on Windows.
Alright, well that would be the machine I'm running it on, even though we're on the dev PC over here. That's what's actually got the GPU, is the Windows machine.
I'm on Linux Mint right now.
Linux Mint, man, I used to, back in the day, I remember fighting so hard to get my wireless drivers, wireless cards working. I ended up having to just get like this giant dongle and having it like hang out the side of my laptop,
It
but I was
works on
determined
Linux
to
too.
use it. Yeah, I believe it. But I'm a fan of Debian-based distros. I am. But for servers, I've kind of went the Photon route.
Me too. Yeah, I've done stable diffusion local, it's awesome.
On local, I'm just asking because I'm genuinely curious, do they implement, what do you call it, like gatekeeping, or what you can have it generate?
On
I think that
Windows,
stuff's built into the model, right? PH, you need to tell me if it's any good at generating isometric assets. It'd be fun to.
You can generate anything.
Yeah, I know you would know, so that's good to
It was a
know.
while back, I don't remember. You add the LLMs to it, but it comes with one model to
Oh
try.
yeah, it does. It has a not safe for work setting right here. Very cool. Interesting. I mean, this is the AI I want to see developed. Is the stuff you can run locally. I could give a crap about the stuff on the cloud. Like,
Have
yeah,
you
it's
tried base
cool.
44 anyone?
Base 44.
I'll stream mine.
If you said base 64, I'd say yes, but that's 44. What's this?
Want to do a show and tell?
Oh, it's like an app creator.
It's AI.
PH does a lot of building with AI. That's Jannar-centric network. That's the name of this.
It one-shot my app.
Wow. What was the app that you had it generate? Did you actually publish it to the app stores?
Card game creator.
What the hell? We'll add it to the list. I'll
Like an
actually
MTG
check
designer
out and
kinda.
stream. One of the things we like to do here is take a look at these AI tools and on stream. Captures them in a video format.
Yes, base 44 is underrated.
PH, that would be cool, but I'm not set up correctly because we're running this on staging. If I was running it on prod, it'd be easier. I'd be able to hear you through my headphones. That's actually one of the things I was supposed to fix tonight.
Dang.
Yeah, no, we need to get that fixed.
Luke Lovable took many prompts to do the same app.
Unique X, Unique UX.
Like
Did you
Asterisk.
release the app? I'm just curious. Yeah, PH, I need to fix this because that's one of the reasons I've not done many tests with the iPhone app. You know, streaming with avatars out and about, because staging is. Let's just say I can get away with a little bit more when it comes to the chat
I
system
have
here.
it in a private repo.
Okay, I see. So the problem
I can
was
share.
we need to. Sweet. We need to set up a reverse proxy that supports both production and staging, but we're all going to run it off of one engine, so kind of painful. This is what makes all the WebSockets all available and secured.
I worked on a
Alright,
card
PH,
game
well-
called Order and Entropy, tactical deck builder for 3 years.
Right on. PH, I'm tempted if I should just
So I
switch
had a
over
lot
to
of
production,
experience in assets.
but we'd have slower chat as a result.
Hang 1 SECGF called.
Alright, no worries. Oh, that's good though. You were able to just feed it all in. Yeah, you must have had to create some sort of registry to make all that available to be used in that.
Nice to meet you, sir. I'm falling asleep but hope we can connect. I'll share the card game designer.
Yeah, no, 100%. Cheers for stopping in. And Unique UX, if you can, try and join the Discord, because chances are low that you'll see this YouTube stream ever again. You know how it is. Oh, I'll be right back. Got a phone call.
Okay, I'm subbed and will join Discord.
What was the second word? All right. Well, that's innocent one.
Hello. Said hi. Hello. Is there any good news? Do ya got the job? Hello face fuchsia tongue out. Are you sleeping face? Halo. Halo. How are you doing? In YouTube. Hello guys. Please try using the commands. Type help. Like this. Please try using the commands. Please like the stream guys by tapping 2 times. Use the commands shown on the screen. MR official genre-centric network, where are you? Hello. Hello. Hello dim button. Dim button, dim button. Dim button, dim button, dim button, dim button. Dim button, face with tears of joy. Duck. Helicopter, helicopter. Helicopter, helicopter. Hicklilopter, hicklipopter. Face with tears of joy. Hello MR Lock. Where are you? Mr. Lock. Try using the commands, guys. And don't forget to join KyntoParty.com. Try, help. Use these commands: dance, wardrobe, jump, crawl, etc. Hecklilopter, hicklipopter. See ya, guys. Jake Peter. Awesome. Awesome.